Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm here to talk to you guys about some questions that people have had, and I'd like to spend a little bit of time and answer those questions, okay? This is more of like a Q&A. I'm probably going to go into this direction because I feel like I've gotten a lot of questions from people that in the moment I can answer, but I don't spend a lot of time here answering them. So the first question that I'm going to answer today is, are you always positive and optimistic? And my answer to that is absolutely not, okay? I am human, just like everybody is human. We walk through our realities, we are experiencing things that are coming in, various conditions that influence how I feel, but what I've learned more than anything else is that the way that we interpret our outside environment is how we feel internally, unless we're able to get a hold of that and actually make different decisions with the thoughts that we make. So, think about it like this. Something happens to you. You're driving in traffic, or what are some other things that can happen throughout the day? Your boss gets mad at you, or your kid is crying and you just need some like downtime, or whatever it is that on the outside could cause a reaction with you on the inside. That all stems from our thoughts, okay? A strategy that I haven't perfected, but I'm really working on it, is catching your thoughts in the moment before they turn into feelings and emotions that then get out of control. That becomes a state or a mood that is so much more difficult to climb out of than if you would have just been like, halt, stop now. The thing about this is, when you think a thought, okay, it is so much easier to let that habitual thought pattern just play through. Look at it like this. Pretend like there is a car. It is on the top of a hill. And this is like a river, okay? And there's a lot of sharks in this river. I don't know why. Sharks seem appropriate for this river, okay? And you obviously don't want to drive down into that river. So your thought in the car that you're driving, okay, starts up here. This is, oh my gosh, this guy just isn't moving fast enough. Or I'm gonna be late. Or halt, okay? Right there, you could literally just say, what's the worst thing that's gonna happen? I'm late, this is out of my control, okay? And you replace that negative thought with a neutralizing thought, or positive if it makes sense for the situation, okay? Another thing that happens is, your boss is always on you, okay? Or whatever it is that you think that triggers you. I'm never gonna make enough money, I'm never gonna be enough. There are all kinds of thoughts. We think something like 35,000, some people say 60, but in the general field of personal development, we'd say 35,000 thoughts a day-ish, and most of the time, those thoughts actually lie to us. So, if we are thinking that thought, maybe it's something like, I'm never gonna make enough money, and that trickles into, oh my gosh, I need this job. Oh my gosh, I will be in this job forever. Oh, I hate this job. I hate my boss. Next thing you know, you go from like, I don't have enough money because the Uber ride was more expensive than you thought, to feeling worthless, terrible, awful, and more than likely, from the point of that first thought all the way down till you get here, okay, to the misery that you then experience after the trail of thinking, becomes a state I don't think we really want to exist in. So a strategy that I've been working on, that I have heard a lot of thought leaders talk about, is if you can catch your thought before it builds momentum and starts to go down the hill of misery, okay, you are able to then actually replace a thought. Maybe we'll call it like put a barrier up for the car so that that car can't go. Now, if the car starts to go past there and gets through, all right, and you're here, now this is where you're maybe developing some pretty negative feelings, okay, you have going on. It's still possible to stop. It's still possible down here. It just gets harder and harder and harder, okay? So pretend like we're up here at the top of our thinking and we say, negative thought comes in. Typically, all of our thoughts and thinking is actually a habitual pattern of thinking. So it's not even stuff that we consciously think on a day-to-day. It's something that we have thought once, okay? So think about it like this. In the brain, you have neurons. They fire like this. Neurons that fire together, wire together. So the more you think a thought, maybe you think a thought the first time, it's kind of like that in the brain. And then you think a thought a second time. And then you think a thought a third time. And then you think a thought a fourth time. And then over time, that myelination that has happened between those neurons is so strong, the thoughts that fire together, wire together, and this becomes your habitual pattern of thinking. if we can stop the thought here and start to replace positive thoughts, okay? So these are things like, obviously, if I work hard enough, I'm going to be a millionaire, okay? These are things like, obviously, if I stay patient in traffic, I'm going to get there on time. These are things, I'm just trying to think of things that come up because everybody's life experience is different. What I experience is different, what you experience, it is not the same across the board. However, human beings pretty much want relatively the same things out of life. We want to be happy, we want to be able to provide for ourselves and for our families, to survive, we want to contribute to the world. Like, there are just certain things that we want to have. Thoughts that interrupt and interfere with that will stop us from living our full potential. And I am super guilty about this. I would just say that the trick is thinking more positive thoughts, and if you can catch yourself, and the more often you start to catch yourself, okay, now there's a trigger. Normally I want to think this. Now I'm going to say, I will absolutely be able to get that raise. All I have to do is work harder, okay? Next time you think, oh, I'm not gonna be able to make enough money. Nope, I will absolutely get that raise, okay? I just need to work smarter. Maybe not even harder, just smarter, okay? The next time, oh, I'm never gonna amount to anything. Nope, I absolutely can. All I have to do is, and then you just keep filling those in, whatever that thought is, and that, my friends, is how you can start to really become more conscious of your thinking first, so that you can then start to disrupt these patterns of thinkings with more positive thinking, all right? Now, there's positive thoughts, yes. There is rewiring, yes. And I would say, above all, there's also the desire to want to do this. Negative thinking and the reaction that happens in the body is somewhat addictive in a way, because you're feeling, when you have stress, you feel cortisol, you have these pattern way of thinking that you start to identify with in a way. I am, this is how I react, this is who I am. Well, yes, I'd say that to a certain degree, personality comes into play, life experiences, hereditary, but a lot of what they're finding and a lot of what I think we now know to be true is that there's a lot of neuroplasticity to the brain. So the more we become conscious of rewriting different thoughts, patterns, way of thinkings, remember, why do I keep saying thinking, which, what are beliefs, things we think about ourselves, so thoughts we think regularly, beliefs. The more that we develop different beliefs about ourselves, the more we're actually able to become who we want to. But this all comes back to the desire, right? Some of us get addicted to responding a certain way. Some of us almost like the reaction that we get out of other people based on those pattern behaviors, response patterns. The desire, I think, is the first step in wanting to change, because you have to want to change. I did hear a saying recently that I thought was really good. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. Well, somebody countered that with, technically, you could make the horse drink if you starved it, made it become so thirsty and in so much pain, it's going to eventually drink the water, okay? Sometimes we have to get to a place in our lives where we have hit what they refer to as the rock bottom, okay? So miserable, so filled with pain, so unhappy with our circumstances or our life choices before we're like, nope, hit the reset button, okay? You all know the easy poof, okay, reset. So you can try to go back up here to kind of start over, not with your thinking, with your thinking. If you want to change, you have to change, right, the world around you. If you want the world around you to change, we must first change with ourselves, and the thinking is how we change our realities. Okay, next question. What do you do to take care of yourself? Okay, as I just mentioned here, I am not perfect. And I would say that, just as anybody else, negative thoughts come up. Whoops, such a lovely paper that was. Negative thoughts come up, but I would say, in referring to the last question, are you always positive or optimistic? My turnaround time of getting myself out of a mental hole or a hole in general over the years has become very quickly. Whereas when I was younger, I may have gotten to a point where I could have really just lived in misery for a while. I hate that pain so much now that when I start to kind of spiral, or I'm feeling like I'm just like overwhelmed, circumstances, everything from job, bosses, friendships, the name it, the gamut, the human experience. My turnaround time has become very quick. Something I have realized more than anything else, because, the path to success is not this. It is literally this. There is no truer statement, or in this case, imagery, to be able to sell the point that is absolutely true. 5 steps forward, 3 steps back, 7 steps forward, 9 steps back. That's the journey towards achieving a goal. That's the journey towards getting to any kind of destination. That is just life in general. That is the life of learning how to walk, So we have one larger journey is filled with many different chapters in our book of life. So what I have found is that on a day-to-day basis, so we're not even talking big picture here. We're talking on a day-to-day basis, we have something called our foundation. Now, big picture, our foundation is filled with many little bricks, okay, of our education, our life experiences, the number of languages we know, the number of jobs we've had, various forms of experience, what our bank accounts look like. This is our general foundation at any given time. Sometimes we have a lot of cracks in our foundation. If we have too many cracks, okay, think about it like this, where you're wanting to build a house, and yes, this is a very, very pretty house, okay? When you have too many cracks in your foundation, your house literally crumbles, okay? That's kind of the hitting rock bottom, or that's the emotional breakdowns or crises that people go through. At any given time, someone's experienced a crisis around you. They're either about to have one, having one, or just getting over one. So we need to be really sensitive. I think that's why they say you should be nicer than or kinder than necessary to everyone around you, because you never know what they're going through. Something like that. This is why. So going back to this. So when we think about our foundation, on a given day to day, it's very much the same. These bricks just start to look different. These bricks are, did I work out? Okay, so now this is going back to what do I do to take care of myself? The days that I don't get up, move my body, okay, it doesn't have to be going to the gym and having one big workout. It could be a walk. It could be literally like 10 minutes of just jumping, singing, okay, doing the squats, like getting my heart pumping, okay? The days that I oversleep my alarm, or I don't hit that initial success right from the start. The days that I went to bed way too late, didn't get enough sleep. I don't do the 10 minutes of meditation or mindfulness as I'm starting out, or the days that I check my phone and something super stressful immediate goes, phew, cortisol spike from the start. Those are the days that I'm not the same me, okay? I respond to stress differently. I allow negative thoughts to be more consuming. I am not the best version of myself by any means. I don't want to give more to people because my cup isn't full. I can feel now at this point in my life when my cup is not full. The days that I wake up mindfully, okay, I do some visualization to get myself going. I have my maybe audio turned immediately on because I'm listening to it. Those are the days where I'm solidly filling in the foundation or patching any potential cracks from being something that throughout the day, if a tornado comes through, whatever that is, life throws tornadoes at you all the time, from the Midwest. If you're not from the Midwest, maybe it's a lightning storm if you're from Malaysia, or maybe it's, hail if it's the summer in Iowa, these types of things. So when I do the things that are necessary, primarily working out, I would say that's number one. Working out every single day is literally the thing that I know if I do, I'm probably going to have a successful day. If I drink a lot of water, eat really healthy, nutritious foods, the basics, those are the foundational kind of steps that I do to take care of myself. And when I don't do those things, okay, maybe I skip my workout one day, but I swear to you, after 2 days, okay, there's some holes there in how I feel. It's probably all the brain chemistry, like brain chemicals and neurotransmitters that I am either missing or at one point in my life didn't even know I was missing out on, okay? But now, since I do this so regularly, I feel those days that I'm not my best version of myself. And so as a result of that, when I know that, now I know, okay, I know what to do. So basically, to summarize it all up, drink lots of water, exercise, get a lot of sleep, hang out with your friends. All the things that they say you should do on a basic level is some of the best self-care that you could do to be able to step into the best version of yourself daily and live the life you imagined. If you have any more questions, I'm happy to answer them. I'm going to be doing this for a long time, okay? Project Ultimate Life is a company that I'm building, and it is literally designed to teach people the basics as well as to go into, okay, more of the neurochemistry, the neuroscience, and the other various aspects of life that can help us become the best versions of ourselves. So if you like this video, like, okay, below, and enter a comment if there is a question that you have that you'd like for me to answer in the future. Until next time, your life, your journey, your choice.